Did your mother stay back?
So my mother, luckily, as Christine mentioned briefly, we are Baha'is. And the Baha'is, unfortunately, under the current regime, are very, very, very heavily persecuted. And my family also, because they were known as Baha'is. And we convinced my mother, just in the early days of revolution, as long as still Baha'is could travel overseas, to leave Iran. And she came and joined us.
In Turkey?
No. In the meantime, we were in Switzerland. Turkey was just in the from 1955 to 1961. Okay. So she came and joined us. But basically, a large part of my family are Swiss.
Okay.
They went. My sister had married in 1972. We all studied in Switzerland, so she came and joined us. We were lucky we could save her. But in our family, we had two tragedies, two very deep tragedies because of their faith. My brother, but first Christine's father, they were both, Christine's father, who was, as Christine mentioned, a very respected and loved professor of medicine, he was assassinated because of his... I don't know if you want to elaborate a little. No, I can mention because he was one of the leaders of the Baha'i community, and he was known, and he could have not been arrested because there would have been protests. He basically trained almost really 80% of all doctors were his students in Iran. They would have not. So he was very dastardly assassinated in his practice in 1981.
He was shot?
Yes.
Actually, it was during the Iran-Iraq war. And there was curfew. Somebody called that it's an emergency. He accepted to receive after the curfew. So he was alone. There was nobody in the streets,
no secretary, no staff. So he was alone, and the person came and he was shot.
And the personnel found him a couple of hours later when he was not coming back from his...
and your mother was there too?
No, fortunately, my mother was with us in France and Switzerland. Also the same, we all asked her to come just a few months before, because my father was assassinated in January, and I think she came in November, although it was difficult because it was the war between Iran and Iraq. But we convinced her to come out, and she came by bus, etc.
So did you get a phone call saying your father has been killed?
Yes, it was true. In fact, the family, Kazem's family, uncle.
So at that time, my brother was alive.
Was still there.
And then he called. He gave us the news of the assassination of my father-in-law.
So people of Baha'i faith, they didn't try to convert them, but they were just eliminating them. Is that what was happening?
Well, I must say something. The Baha'i faith is something you live. It's very deep in you. Yeah. And Baha'is, if they believe in their faith, they don't just change or convert to save their lives. So it's a very, very good question that you ask. Most of the time, the Baha'is who were assassinated or they were put on trial, they were given the choice to change their religion, to convert, to save their lives. But it is so profound. If I may say, my brother, and then I will say that because that's related to your question, my brother, one other thing that was done by the current regime, they forbid Baha'i youth to attend universities unless they would declare that they are Muslims. So in the entrance forms of universities, there is a religion column, which is very different from India. When you get an Indian visa, I got now, when you go, among the choice, you have Baha'i. Oh. Yes, so you can cite you are Baha'i, you are Zoroastrian, etc. In Iran, they give you only it's Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and Zoroastrianism. These are the four choices you have. Nothing else is accepted. And if you don't cross, for Baha'is, this is their faith. They are ready to give their lives for it. So they don't play that game. So now what I wanted to say, my brother, he was helping organize what it's called the Baha'i Institute for Higher Education, which is an education. This was like, it sounds negative, but it's like an underground university.
Okay.
It's a self-help university of the Baha'i community. So Baha'is who had degrees, they would teach young Baha'is at homes, online, or in small groups. You know, somebody who had a doctor in chemistry, he would teach chemistry, etc.
Amazing. That's God's own work.
Yes. And my brother, he was one of those who was facilitating this university. So you would call, like academic member of that. And they were also facilitating correspondence courses with universities in United States, in Europe. And by the way, quite a few Baha'is came also to study in India. There were a lot of Baha'is who studied in Pune and in other universities. So my brother was doing that. And then he was arrested once, and then he was released after some time, and then he was re-arrested in 1992. And I don't go to the details. There was no news about him during 14, 15 days because it was during the New Year holidays. And after that, when his wife went to ask what happened, you asked my husband to come and see you to the police station. Where is he, etc. The only thing they did, they gave him his briefcase, empty briefcase, his glasses, and one small piece of paper, which we still have. It was like, torn out of the school notebook. And my brother had, it was addressed to his wife and children. He said, "Please forgive me. I could not deny my faith."
Oh my God.
And so he was asking forgiveness that he left them, and he did not deny his faith. And there was a few words for me and my sister to take care of his family, etc. So this goes to the point that Baha'is are ready to sacrifice their lives rather than deny their beliefs, because it's not just a badge, it's very profound.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.